Hey everybody, I've been wanting to do a video about this this little drip irrigation system that I have set up. So we planted, there's 46 trees. They're the Emerald Green Arborvitaes, and quite a ways away from our water source or hose, and I was having to bring the hose out here and water them. So I just want to show you what I did. So we're out here by the trees right now, and as you can see, I have a hose running into this black pipe, and I'll show you when I go back in the garage exactly what pipe this is and how I hooked up all these little drainage things. But the first thing I have is a reducer. A pressure reducer. It reduces it down to 25 psi. And then coming up here I have a T, so I have one section of hose running that way and one section running this way. And then at each tree base, I have a little outlet here that I poked in this hose, and then a short extension. You can see the water going on. So it feeds right to the base of the tree. So again, out here we have a pressure reducer, a T, and that's about it. And then a ton of these, I can't remember what they're called. I'll have it on the next video. I'll show you exactly what they are. But basically you just poke a hole everywhere you want water to be draining. So it runs quite a ways down and quite a ways this way. So here's where I have my hose hooked up, and I actually have a little dial timer on there, but you can see how far out that runs. So you know, the one thing I was having to do was drag this whole hose all the way out and go all the way along and water. There's 46 trees there, so I was having to water every single one of those by hand and then roll the hose back up. So this has helped out a lot. Again, I've been able to just plug it in out there, turn on the hose over here, and set the timer and let it run for a couple hours, and just water those instead of doing them by hand. Alright, so we're back in the garage, and I pulled out all the leftover supplies that I'd used. But basically, here's the main tubing that I used. I think it's 5/8, and there's the name of it there. I got it at a big box store. These are called 1/4-inch vinyl couplers. I think I also call them emitters. So that's what I used at the base of each tree. And then I also have some 1/4-inch, same brand as the other two, but it's just a rubber hose. So I cut them into little pieces like this, and directed them towards the base of each tree. So over here is my little tool that I bought. Again, it's in the same area. All this stuff is kind of on the same shelf in the same bay. But this is to poke your holes in the throughout, you know, the length of your tubing. So I had 240 feet, I think. We have 46 trees, so I poked 46 holes at each. You know, after I got it all laid out, I went back and poked holes. And here's one of the holes, you can see. And then over here I poked a hole and actually put the little emitter with the plastic hose. So that's what's run along the entire length of that tree line. And then these these rubber hoses direct the water right to the base. So that's a few of the things. And the other thing that was helpful were these end pieces. So at the very end of the line, you know, I had two of these. Basically, it just allows you to fold the hose in half, and then just put this. It's a figure 8 type deal on it, and it just pinches it off that way. That's how you end your line. So the couple other things that I'm not showing here that are out on the line itself are a pressure reducer. And the reason that I got a pressure reducer, I don't know if it tells on here, but I was reading somewhere and it said that the maximum pressure for these was like 25 psi. So I went ahead and got a pressure reducer. You guys should have seen it earlier in the video. And then I had a T. So again, I had to buy 3. These come in 100-foot rolls. So I bought 3 rolls of 100 feet and used nearly 2.5 rolls. So I have a T from where the hose goes in. I have a T, going each way, and then a little further down, I have another connector. It's just a plastic connector, similar to these, but fits this larger diameter. So those are all the things I used. It was pretty simple to do. Just laying it out and getting it straight after being rolled up in this tight roll was the hardest part, but it's worked very well so far. I just turn on my hose and I have the timer, so it runs for a couple hours. I can water them instead of having to go out and water by hand. So it wasn't entirely cheap. It was probably $150 for everything, but now I can consistently water them. I just go out and turn on the hose, and I don't have to drag the entire hose and roll it back up. One other thing you'll need, so I think it's about 150 feet from where my water outlet is to where the tree line starts. So if you don't have a long hose, you will need a really long hose. I got lucky and had that hose given to me. It was an old hose, but it works just fine. It spliced together in a few places, but so you will need a long hose to run from your outdoor spigot out to the line. But overall, I just want to show you what I did. It's made it very easy. Like I said, I planted those trees probably 2 or 3 months ago, and if I had to water them by hand every day, I would be going crazy probably. So this was well worth it in my eyes. It makes life a lot easier, and it is pretty warm right now, so they need plenty of water. They seem pretty hardy, but I was told that when you plant those Emerald Green Arborvitaes that just make sure they get plenty of water. So that's how I'm making sure they get plenty of water. And again, it was 250 feet. One thing I might change, well, let me shut this off and walk back out there and talk through one thing I might change on that. Okay, so here's where I have my hose connected. Again, I have my pressure reducer, drops down to 25 psi, and my T here. But going this way, it kind of goes uphill a little bit, and then from my hose going down this way, it all flows downhill. So all of the emitters down there spray out more water than they do kind of going up the hill down here. So if I was to redo it, I probably would have put my hose more up here where both kind of drain downhill. I mean, they still get plenty of water, but you can really see how that one's spraying out. And down at the end, way down there, it's just not quite as much water coming out. It's still plenty, in my opinion, but these are definitely, so these trees down here are definitely getting more water than as you go up and over this little hump. So probably I should have moved this, like I say, maybe down to the crest of that hill, and that way the water will flow downhill both ways and provide kind of the same amount of water. But that's my only regret so far. All right, thanks for watching.